Hi everyone, welcome to episode number 1 of the Travel Expat School here at the Global Curious YouTube channel. Today, just to get started, I wanted to share with you my history of travels or my travel credentials, just so you know where I've been, what I've done a little bit, and then you can also just send me your questions, and then we'll just get into it. By the way, these are not drugs. This is just a different type of tea that we have in South America, which is called mate. I'm 32 years old, and I actually always traveled, but of course when I was a kid I was traveling with my parents, but I wasn't doing like overseas trips. We would just always travel with whatever money we had. And I had this really cute story that I wanted to tell you. When I was a kid, we didn't have money for holidays, but my parents loved always just exploring the country. So what my dad did was he just found this bottle it was like a plastic bottle, and he started kind of like pushing like $1 coins into it. By the end of that year we had like a bottle like just filled with coins, and that's how we paid for our holidays. So then when I was a teenager I joined the Scouts, and that was a whole new different experience. We would go camping every summer, and that was like beyond cheap. Those camps were so amazing, and we would go for like 3 weeks. We would be like traveling in this like very sturdy and old buses, and there was so many of us, and it was so much fun, and we would always get sick, not going to toilet, be just like covered in mud. And so that's, for example, how I celebrated my 15th birthday. I was camping, and I thought I was looking all nice and pretty for afternoon tea. That's when we were going to celebrate my birthday. And then when I look at the pictures, I look like shit. I'm just like all covered in mud. I just didn't realize because I hadn't taken a shower in 3 weeks. So that was already like 15 years ago. I always just loved traveling, regardless of where. I don't think that you have to go overseas or you have to make a huge trip, but whatever gets you going and whatever exposes you to new experiences, I think it's great. When I was 22, 23, me and my family were able for the first time to take a trip to the States. That was like the farthest I've ever been from home, and it was such a cool experience. And I spent it because my uncle and my auntie lived there, so like spent like a few days with my uncle and my auntie, and then went to New York for a few days. Not enough. And then I just did my first solo trip. I flew to LA for like what I remember to be like the 4 most bizarre days of my life. LA was so bizarre. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, but at the same time it just fascinated me how different people is, and how wonderful it was to see just like people skating pretty much naked. So then 1 or 2 years after that, just went on this trip to Peru with my friend. I had just started a new job, so I couldn't have enough holidays, so we just took a 10 days. We just went on a 10 days trip. So the thing is that it felt kind of off. It didn't make sense to me that I just couldn't go travel whenever I wanted. And I don't mean to say this like as a like spoiled brat, like, oh, I want to go traveling, but just honestly, a part of me just thought, hey, this is my life. I need to be able to own my time. After that, my mind just like went boo, and then it was just like, okay, I need to do something. So how am I going to do this? I just went on this like stage where I couldn't sleep at night, and I was trying to navigate like how do people go travel, and can I just move overseas? I didn't have any idea about working holiday visas or anything. It was just like a different universe to me, and I hadn't even met anyone that was traveling, and I just started feeling so miserable because I was like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? One day I was walking on the street and I had just seen my ex-boyfriend's mom, and she just said something that was just like click. She just said like, open your eyes, you're not going to go into your like dreamed life of travel. Your life is already on a different path. And that was just like, it was great that she said that to me, because that actually changed the course of my life. So that night I decided, hey, we're going to Europe, we're going to use all our money, never mind, we can always sleep in a couch and at a friend's house, it doesn't matter, we'll just use that money and go traveling. And you know that Argentina, it's hard to save money. It's so hard to save money. So I was like, okay, I use all my life savings. I had been working since I was 17, and at that stage I was 25. And with the dollar and inflation and like crisis and everything, I had been losing money because, yeah, whatever, this is how things were. Yeah, so a year after that, went on this trip to Europe. Big mistake made. Oh, everything's so fast, but I was so excited to be there. It was an amazing trip. It was an amazing experience. And then just one night before leaving Argentina to go on our trip, I found about the working holiday visas, which I had no idea about. And then we were like, okay, we'll take these 2 months and figure things out. We can figure if we want to do it or if we are not going to do it. So we were traveling and we were like, should I do it? Should we do it? Should we not do it? What are our options? So then I just thought, okay, let's do it. Honestly, at that time, I felt this was such a huge project for me. I felt that I wasn't going to be able to pull it off. In the end, we did it. And so we did our 2 months trip, and then we moved to Denmark. Then we spent 9 months in Denmark, which were by no means easy, but it was great. So then we went backpacking Europe again, and then we went to Argentina. And in the meantime, we have gotten our New Zealand working holiday visas. So we came to New Zealand. Then we decided, okay, we want to keep doing this, let's keep the ball rolling. So came to New Zealand, broke up with my ex-boyfriend, and then started dating my current partner, Diego. People were like, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep traveling? Are you going to settle? Like you're already 28 years old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to turn 30 anytime soon. Time went by, and it was a very tough year, kind of like just recovering from a big breakup and just starting up a new relation, new friends, different life. Just everything changed so fast. In the meantime, I really wanted to get my Italian citizenship, and because I have Italian background, I was able to do that, but it also seemed so impossible, and it also seemed like it was a project that I wasn't going to be able to pull off. So I'm not being negative, but I'm just being honest on saying how it felt at that time. At the back of my mind, I knew I was going to do it, but again, this was like a huge dream that I had. At that stage, I just wanted to feel that I was kind of like a citizen of the world, So I spent pretty much 2 years, even more, just planning, just getting paperwork done. Everything was a mess. Bureaucracy was just absolutely ridiculous. At that time, we were not already working holiday visas. We were my partner was on a work visa and I was on a partner visa. So then we needed to figure out like what's next, because once your work visa in New Zealand it's expired, you kind of like had to leave. So took that year to just for planning everything to go to Italy and do my Italian citizenship. In the meantime, trying to see what the fuck we were doing with our work visas here. It turns out that we were able to apply for residency. So we applied for residency in New Zealand and we got it in 6 months. So we were always trying to figure out when can we leave, how long can we stay overseas and stuff. So went to Argentina, then went to Europe on this 4 months trip. I studied all the paper for my citizenship. In the meantime, went to Spain, went to Croatia, went to Turkey, went to like just traveling Italy. Then we came back. Then everything kind of like just clicked. I had started the blog just like a few months before that. And then I was like, hey, at this stage, I've been to like 25 countries. I'm doing my Italian citizenship. I'm a New Zealand resident. So I'm pretty much about to be entitled to live legally in like 3 continents. So came back from the trip, got things going, but then I had to go back to Italy for like nearly 2 months and then came back to New Zealand, and then 2 months later I had to go back to Italy just to finish and get my passport and just be like a full-on European citizen. And then I just focused on my project. And I've just focused on my business, I would say. So after I came back with my passport, my Italian passport in my hand, 2 months later, I quit my job and just went full on, just like, you know, when they say burn the bridges, I just burned the bridges and went full on freelancing and being self-employed and working on my Upwork profile and everything. And that's how I sustain myself nowadays. So this year so far, I've been to Australia for 2 weeks and I've been traveling with my parents for 3 weeks. In 6 weeks, I'm heading to Chile, doing the desert with my sister, and then to Argentina, visiting family. And then we are flying into Hong Kong, Japan, Thailand, and Indonesia. So why am I telling you this? Because I want to show you that there are ways that you can just have a flexible life that will serve your purpose, right? Will serve your life vision. What's my vision? My vision in life is to be able to come and go as I please. It's a little bit deeper than that, but just figuring out ways to bring travel into my life as a long-term value or hobby or profession or activity, whatever. In the end, it wasn't for me like, oh, I'll just go on a sabbatical, because I just wanted to keep this going. So I ended up becoming an expat. Like, if you think about it, I haven't been living in Argentina for the last 6 years, coming next month. What's next? Just keep traveling, just keep writing, keep creating videos, keep doing yoga and connecting with friends from all over the world. And I do believe that if you know something, if I know something, we need to put that, we need to make a service out of it. We need to share our stories. And we never know when we can, just share the journey or shed some light. Okay, so see you next week.